Hello and welcome to the World's 2024 Roundup for your first round of Swiss. I am your host, Cursebreaker, and I'm going to be breaking down each matchup in short, choppy videos that you can watch just right before the game or after to see if I was wrong. So, round one. This is one of the least exciting matchups in terms of competitiveness, in terms of trying to go through, what the potential playouts are. And it's also, let me clarify, it's not a match. It's technically just a game. So they're just going to play one map, which I think makes these a little bit more volatile, which I think makes the predictions very, very hard. Obviously, this is like a world-shaking one, but let's go ahead and get right into it. BLG are pretty much ready. They're poised to win it all in my eyes. They are a team that smashed through the LPL with just about no resistance. Unlike Genji, the other kind of team that people have their eye on for winning it all, who actually faltered in the very last series of their year against Hanwha. We'll obviously get into all of that later on in later videos. But, yeah, BLG is one of the strongest teams in the entire tournament, like bar none. Their top laner is Bin, who I think is potentially the best top laner in the world, definitely the best Jax in the world. And their jungler, Wei, is a huge upgrade on the little inconsistent and very resource-heavy Shun. Wei provides a very consistent, stable style. He can play just about anything really well, so he's often playing the most effective champions on a given patch. So I'm excited to see how his form is actually going to turn out, but he looked spectacular when he won MSI on RNG, and yeah, he's a strong jungler, and he improved BLG a considerable amount. Knight, a lot of people may remember him as the JDG mid laner. He's actually rotated over to BLG. Yeah, and he makes this team insane. Knight is one of the strongest players in the game. He's a known Syndra monster, so if this is truly a Syndra patch, which I guess we'll find out in these next day. But if it's truly a Syndra patch, then Knight is poised to be maybe the top player in this tournament. And their bot lane, Elk and On. I mean, how can you discount these guys? They've kind of proven to everyone that they're next. They're the next LPL. I mean, Elk at least I think is pretty much confirmed to be one of the next really good, consistent over the next few years 80 carries. This guy is really strong on things like Jinx, which I think people are going to be playing, and yeah. And then the one thing that I do want to say is that I was watching an interview with Bin, and he already made many comments on Mad Lion's crazy drafts. So I think that at least Bin knows what they're kind of cooking over there in Mad Lions, which I think is a lot of what people think could be an edge for Mad, but I think maybe BLG are going to be ready for it. Also, I just don't think you're going to be able to play Cheese versus Bin. I think Bin is like a person who plays like 2,000 games a year of solo queue, and he plays in the the Ionian server, or he might play in the Super server. I have no idea, but either one of those servers are apocalyptic. There's no way you're going to catch Bin not knowing how to lane against Nidalee or Aurora. Like, that just is such a Chinese, that's such a Chinese top thing to pick in solo queue in my eyes. It reminds me of the Shy. I know he's a Korean player, but yeah, I think BLG are going to be really prepared here. And yeah, if they lose, it's a catastrophe. Not just for them, but actually for the whole tournament, because then BLG are going to be knocking out your favorite team. I promise it's not going to be good. But yeah, they're here. But I think there's a little bit of cope, right? Maybe Mrywn actually is the next best top laner in Europe. He has shown me that he's got some sort of something. He sees drafts differently than everyone else. He really maybe can I don't know if that's the coach as well. That could also potentially be the coach. But Mrywn is the guy who can execute Zeri top first, then Nidalee top. I know that there's been some criticism apparently it was Nidalee top, but hey, it worked in pro play in the year of our Lord 2024. So, I mean, I don't know how you can really knock that. And Elyoya, he's kind of turned into a really reliable captain. He's experienced. This is definitely not his first Worlds. This has got to be the Worlds where he has the least pressure on him of all time. So I'm expecting him to play really, really well. And Wei is going to be a really tough opponent to test his mettle against, which I know Elyoya is. I mean, you can just see it in his eyes. He's frothing at the mouth for that opportunity to play against those top junglers. And Wei is definitely that guy. So he's watching Wave odds right now. You can bet your life on that. And then I just want to say honorable mention to Supa. I think Supa is a guy that he just has some sort of like plot armor, and that's all I'm gonna say about Supa. He doesn't. When you watch him play, it's like for whatever reason it doesn't feel like you're watching greatness, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it totally was though. And I don't know if he's just like got the Kuroko basketball power where he kind of is like invisible and it's just like nobody wants to hit him so he can just hit everyone. I really don't know, but yeah, they've got some chances. I don't want to overcook here and say that Mad could win, but if they do, it's a miracle for them, but it is a disaster for the bracket. The bracket will be ruined, and that is something that is like unavoidable if they win. But anyway, that is the rundown for Mad Lions and Billy Gaming, or Binley Gaming, as Thanatos coined it. But yeah, I think that's going to be all I have to say. Ladies and gents, see you guys in the next video. I don't know why I did that. Kind of ruined the whole thing.